everyone. I actually can't see your faces at all, but I'm going to assume that you're smiling. So my name is Joy Yamusangie. I'm an artist. Essentially, I'm an illustrator, so I have a background in, illustration. I draw, I paint, I pretty much do anything that I want to, which is kind of nice, yeah. So some of my past projects. So this is a book cover that I made for C.L.R. James's Minty Alley. It's like the only time that I've done something that's like traditionally illustration, but a fun project to do. And to just to show you the range of the stuff that I do, I made a film with my friend and co-director Rona McKenzie, and this film was called Water. And this actually, we finished editing this in March 2020. Great time to finish a film and try and like release a film as well. So we were super excited to release this, and then the lockdown happened, which meant that, nothing happened. So we canceled literally everything, and the way that I was used to working, like exhibitions and shows and just like going out, just suddenly stopped, and I was like baking banana bread and like running, and also I took up the saxophone. These are not videos, by the way, because I'm not ready to share them. But I took up the saxophone. I think what made me do it actually was that I loved Lisa Simpson when I was young, and I thought I want to be her. So yeah. And then alongside the saxophone, I started making these paintings of musicians playing the trumpet and like sax players and like creating this like fictional band. And then alongside the band, I started thinking about the people who'd come and see the band, like the club goers, the people in the smoking area, the people who are making out with strangers, and the people also like starting drama. And I think I was just feeling a bit like I missed going out, and I missed like going to clubs, and I missed like dancing. And so making this work was a way of like imagining that, like making this utopia of just like fun. And I wanted to just have fun with my work. So at the same time, I was also looking at like family photos and like the really bold outfit choices that some people in my family make. And I then looked into like Congolese dandies. So I'm Congolese, by the way. And one of the things that I like about these dandies is that there's a rule of dress. So you don't wear any more than 3 colors at a time. And so I thought, let me try and apply that to some of my paintings. And so by the end of this, I had about maybe like 10 to 15 artworks, all set in this like fictional jazz club, which I called Feeling Good, after like the Nina Simone song. And I think I was, at that point, I probably felt like, yeah, I just want to like quit art and make an actual jazz club. And then Now Gallery approached me and said, hey, we want to give you an exhibition space. You can do whatever you want in it. And I thought, maybe I should ease into this jazz club and make an exhibition times jazz club. So I made a Pinterest board, which is like when things get serious. And then I then started to think, I've never actually made a jazz club before, or any kind of space, to be honest. So I did these like initial sketches, and then like drew on like Photoshop, like this is how I imagined it to be. And so the gallery then got interesting projects who made like a nice technical and health and safety version of my design. So yeah, I'm about to tell you how to open up your own jazz club. This is not actually a real jazz club, by the way. So yeah, I thought a jazz club must have a really cool neon sign on the outside. So we did that. We had the really cool sign. We got like a fake like lamppost because we couldn't actually get a real one. And also I drew all of these lines by hand. It was really hard. And then I was thinking about, I wanted to create like a sense of journey through the space. So if you think about like bars and clubs that you go to, usually like you're traveling through a long corridor or down some stairs. And so interesting projects then made like a 3D render of that. And then we actually built that space. So as soon as you walk in through the door, there's like this corridor that feels like it's like narrowing in, and then you get into the main space, this is how I imagined it to be, but there's like obviously like budget limitations. So there was no actual stage, but we put like a vinyl down to make it seem like, oh, this is a stage area. Got a piano from eBay and a really cool bar from Gumtree. A lot of stuff was just looking online for a little bit. And then by the end of this, I had about 20 plus artworks that were supposed to be about bringing this jazz club to life. So I started putting them around the space, got some really cool framing by Facility. I basically wanted it to feel like this is a intensely colored jazz club. And so in the day, there would be like workshops. The whole idea was that there had to be something happening in the space. I didn't want it to be like white walls and white floors. I wanted it to actually feel like this is a bar space. So we did that. We had a nice little opening. We had like a jazz band come in and play. We had like people dancing. I think this was like my excuse of like trying to make that jazz vision come alive. And it worked. It was great fun. It was nice for me to be able to mix like my illustration work with I also did not perform, by the way, to mix in with my saxophone interest and love for jazz. And so yeah, by the end of it, I had this jazz club and just had a great time. And so when it ended, I decided that I would actually stick to art because it's really, really, really hard work to even make a space like that. But I had a great time. So if you'd like to see more of what I'm doing art-wise and not jazz club-wise, then you can sign up to my mailing list or just follow me on Instagram. Thank you.